running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me.
Well, hello, all you beautiful, lovely people. Good to see you guys. I hope y'all are doing well on this Monday night. Good to see y'all. If y'all haven't hit the like, please do so. All right, guys. So tonight is Mental Health Monday, like we normally do. I'm trying to, test the waters on these type of lives and see how everybody, enjoys them and stuff like that. But this is Mental Health Monday, and I am telling you guys my story tonight. And the reason that I think it is so important to talk about stories, even though some people might have heard them, is to be, there for others that might have been through the same thing that you have been through. Or suffering. They might not suffer the same way as you, but they're still suffering. So you can be there for one another, bring awareness to these things and show support, because you really don't know what somebody is going through. And that's what these are all about. Helping somebody be a difference in somebody's life. That's what these lives are all about, and bringing awareness to them, because a lot of people put mental health on a back burner and put it under a rug. And I think it should be more talked about, so you're able to help others and let people know that they're not alone in this world. So this is Mental Health Monday. Tonight I want to share my mental health story, what I do to cope, and what obstacles I've been through in my life to be the person I am today. You are not alone. There is hope. All right. So let's see all these precious, beautiful people in chat. And I really, really appreciate you guys being in here. These type of lives, especially when I'm sharing my story, it can be very, very difficult to talk about. So I really, really appreciate you guys being in here. I know some of y'all have heard my story before, but I just really, really appreciate y'all being in here. Some have not heard my story before, so this will be the first time. If this is the second time, I apologize. I'm just, the way that I look at it is the more that you talk about it, the more you're bringing awareness to it, the more that you might be able to help somebody else. So that's what these lives are all about. All right, so let me go in and say hello to everybody. Miss Julie, I don't know if you're still in here. She was here at 3:25 p.m. She was here early. Good to see you. I hope you're aware. Well, Miss Jenny, good to see you. I hope you're well, darling. Mentors, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. Beagle Mom, good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. Mama, this is the bomb. Welcome, honey. Good to see you. I hope you're well, darling. Lisa, good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. Shelby, I love the pumpkin, Shelby. Good to see you, sweetheart. I hope you're doing good. Deanna in Ohio, good to see you, honey. I hope you're well. Let's see. Hello, Mary Jane. Good to see you. I hope you're doing good, honey. And I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, you guys let me know. But I believe that I covered everybody. So, all righty. Well, let's start with this. All right. So, like I was just saying, be supportive. Mental health is extremely important. And hold on a minute, guys. The dogs just want to talk to you guys too. So anyway, but these type of lives, I think, is very important to bring awareness to and let people know that they're not alone in this world. I know they just wants to talk up a storm. They want to be a part of the show too. They're just talking up a storm. But anyway, okay, so it's very hard, guys. So I'm just going to start with this. I have been diagnosed with PTSD, major depressive disorder, anxiety, panic, psychosis, hallucinations, hearing and seeing things that are not there, which that is a form of hallucinations, but they call it something else, and I can't remember what it is. It's like multiple personalities, but it's not multiple personalities. It's from my trauma. Hello, Miss Joni. Good to see you, honey. I hope you're well. I have not been diagnosed with I know it's very hard. I'm not been diagnosed with bipolar, but they said that I have schizophrenia tendencies, and I think that's just my counselor told me that it was from my trauma. So anyway, I've been diagnosed with all those, and I got some bad news today. I've been fighting for disability for 14 years, and my lawyer decided to just completely cut me cold turkey. And I got denied for disability. I reappealed it. I was on the appeals table since November of last year, and I just recently got a decision last week or a couple weeks ago. Anyway, it was in the end of August, and they denied me. And so I called my lawyer, and my lawyer also said that I couldn't be their client anymore, because they said they did not see anything different with me than when I first applied. When they was my lawyer 7 years ago, guys, and they're just going to wash their hands of me. So it's been an extremely hard day. I'm still fighting. I'm going to refile. I'm not giving up, but it's extremely, it's kind of messed with me today. But anyway, so that's just a kind of typical. I've been diagnosed with all this stuff. I've never been put in the hospital. And I think that's what's keeping me from getting disability. I've never been put in the hospital. I think, honey, I've waited for 14. I'm still fine. I'm going to have to reapply. But yeah, a long time. And the only thing, I've never been put in the hospital. And I think that's what's hindering me. And I told Rebel, I said, well, hell, I'm just going to have to go to the freaking, I'm going to have to go to the damn hospital just to get disability. And that's sad to say, because nobody wants to be in the damn hospital. I mean, for Pete's sake, you know what I mean? But I'm just not going to give up, because maybe one day somebody will hear my story. And I have a lot of other health problems as well. But that's just my mental part. That's just my mental part, what I just told you guys. I have fibromyalgia. I'm a diabetic. I have, I have neuropathy. I have, a bunch of other things. Hello, Rain and Corn Dogs. Good to see you. I hope you are well. All right. So it like Mentor said, and I completely agree with you. Just kind of go with it, but it's hard. It's so hard, but it's extremely hard to talk about it. I'm in therapy, and they do special therapy on me, EDMR, which you put these things in your hands, and it kind of opens up your mind a little bit, and you can like talk about more openly than you would without those things in your hand, if that makes sense. EDMR is really good therapy. If you're in therapy, then I think it's amazing. Therapy's not for everybody, but if you are in therapy, I think it is great to have somebody to talk to get crap off your chest. All right. So I'm just going to go with it. I hope I don't trigger nobody, and I try not to make these lives very long, because it is during the week. And I know people have to go to work, and people, getting their youngins ready for school and stuff like that. So I'm just going to explain my stories, and there's a few of them. And then we will go from there. And like I said, I apologize to the people that have already heard it. But I think the more you talk about it, even though other people have heard it, the better it is, one, to get off your chest, to make you feel better. And two, if you're helping somebody, it makes you feel better anyway. You know what I mean? If you're helping them be a difference in somebody's life, and let them know your story and your testimonies, and that, you're still here, even though all the hell that you've been through. You know what I mean? So, all right. So it all began. I will start with my childhood first. All right. So I grew up. I grew up as a preacher's daughter. I have 3 older brothers, and I'm the baby, and I'm the baby girl. Well, people put preachers' kids, per se, up on a pedestal, and to be something that they're not. Like, I was raised up poor. I'm still poor, but people look at preachers' kids that they should act a specific way. They should be rich. They should be this. They should be that. And that's not the case. Well, when I was little, and because I was raised in church my whole entire life, my sperm donor, because I can't really call him a dad, but y'all will understand why here shortly. But anyway, my sperm donor was one of those preachers, and I'm not against preachers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against preachers at all. I'm a believer. And but as a child, like very, very, very young child, maybe like 2 or 3 years old, very, very, very young. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I know that I was extremely young. So we would go to church, and we would act like everything's all honky dory, and we would have to be a certain like person. We would be afraid to like talk to people and be ourselves, because when we got home, it was like we were walking on eggshells. Heaven forbid we did something wrong. Like, so say, for example, this has always been in my mind, and I will always remember it. I don't know how old I was. I know I was young, so I'm not really for sure. But anyway, my brothers and I accidentally fell asleep in church. We were young. We're kids, Yes. And people put you up on that high pedestal. And if you don't do what they think that you should do, they treat you like crap and put you down pretty much. Anyway, so one of me or my brothers, I can't really remember, fell asleep in church. Well, when we came home, we got our asses handed to us, like literally handed to us. My mama is amazing. My mama is my backbone. I love her very much. She is awesome. Anyway, so she was trying to protect me and my older brothers. Well, whew, sorry guys. It's hard. She was not able to protect us. And just because we fell asleep in church, every one of our asses, and literally asses, got beat. We all had to bend over on the couch and get our asses handed to us. So bad that we couldn't even walk for a couple of days. We went to school with bandages on our asses. We could barely sit down. We would have to take a pillow, and people would sit there and laugh at you because you had to put a pillow under your butt because it hurt so bad, because you had bruises and whelps and bleeding on your hind end because you got beat so bad from somebody who was supposed to love you. But then when you go back to church, you have to wear long dresses, you have to wear long pants, long sleeves and everything, just so people don't talk, just so people won't judge. So it's like you're perfect at church, but you're not, you can't make mistakes. You have to be completely perfect. You're not allowed to make mistakes. I was raised Southern Baptist, Independent, and Missionary Baptist. So yes. So that was extremely hard for me growing up. I was homeschooled for a while because of those situations. There were several times I lived in trailers growing up as a kid. There were several times I would witness my donor running down the hallway, going to attack my brothers, and my mama stepped in the way. So let's just say she got attacked, and I had to see that growing up as a child. I had to see that with my mama being mistreated and my brothers being mistreated and myself, just because we wasn't perfect in his eyes. We wasn't what he wanted us to be. We're human. And that's what, and I don't get on religion or nothing, but that's what God teaches us. He's the only one that's perfect. We're human. We make mistakes, but not in his eyes. And a lot of people say, well, Becca, was you raised up like Pentecostal and stuff like that? And I said, no, I was raised up Baptist, like Southern Missionary Independent Baptist, like all together. I was raised up as that. I was not allowed to wear dresses. I mean, I wasn't allowed to wear shorts or pants. I had to wear dresses my whole entire life up until I was 16 years old. No, I'm sorry. My bad. I was in middle school, so I was probably about 14, give or take, 13, 14, something like that. I got made fun of so bad, and I got bullied so bad because I was a preacher's kid and I wasn't allowed to dress like the other kids. I had to wear culottes. I don't know if you guys know what that is, and dresses and skirts. I was not allowed to wear pants. I was not allowed to wear shorts, and I had to wear a lot of long sleeves because I always had bruises on myself. So I got made fun of a lot. I got made fun of so bad. Will y'all hush, Lord? I got made fun of so bad that I threatened to unalive myself in the middle school. And I legitly threatened to. Well, the reason being is because I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take the bullying. I couldn't take the people making fun of me. I couldn't take being different, which being different is good. But as if you get made fun of as a child and you're constantly covering up your bruises and scars, and you have so much trauma from you're supposed to be dad taking care of you, but he's not taking care of you. He's beating you in turn. Sorry about that, guys. But so I would take my brother's pants, put them in my backpack, get on the school bus, go in the bathroom, and change my clothes to pants. So I felt like that I was a child. I felt like that, I sort of kind of belonged a little bit. Like I felt more fit in than I was, like I wasn't as singled out as I was if I wore pants, if I dressed like others. So I would take my brother's pants and I would put them in my backpack and I would change when I got home, change in the bathroom. And then, I would wear them during the day. And when my classmates said, I'm going to tell on you that you're doing this. And you know how kids are, they're very cruel. And they would still make fun of me. So even though I wore them pants to try to have friends, to fit in, it still wound up backfiring on me. So I told them that, I told the guy that told on me that I was going to unalive myself. And they called the counselor in. My mom came up to the middle school and she seen me in the pants. Granted, my mom was raised in pants. When my mom grew up as a child, she wore pants. But when she got married to my sperm donor, she was 16, he was 18. So it all changed. Let's put it that way. Anyway, so when my mom showed up, they was searching me, making sure I didn't have no weapons or none of that stuff on me to really physically hurt myself. And I told my mom, I said, I can't take this anymore. I said, I'm really, really, truly going to do something if something don't happen, because I'm so sick and tired of being bullied and being mistreated because I am what I am, Hello, Summer Thunder. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. And hello, Mama Digger. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good, honey. So I had to, and this was the worst part. I mean, I went through a bunch of hell growing up as a kid, but this was the worst part. My mama picked me up from middle school, and I had to go home. And I had to face the wrath of the demon that was supposed to be my dad, that was supposed to love me and care about me. Well, let's just say my mom got a good old beating from it. And I did too. And I told my donor that if I can't wear pants, or if I can't wear capris, or if I can't wear anything to try to fit in, to try to have friends, I didn't have no friends growing up. I didn't have no friends growing up because I was constantly made fun of. So I told my donor, I said, if you don't let me wear pants or shorts or something like that, I'm really, truly going to hurt myself. So he agreed for me wearing capris. That's the only thing I could wear. I was not allowed to wear anything else, just capris. Yeah, I was born in 86, so this is about in the 90s that this happened. But it was extremely hard not to have friends at a teenager's age, not to have friends, not to have nobody you could talk to, because I was made fun of and bullied my whole life. I'm sorry, guys. It's very hard to talk about.
But if I can help somebody, like I told you guys, if I can help somebody, then I'll sing my story all the time, even though it's hard to talk about. If I can help somebody and be a difference in somebody's life and let them know, the hell that I've been through, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's really, really, really okay. And I have to keep telling myself that all the time because of what I've been through. And guys, that's just as a child. That's just as a child. And then to beat it all, my sperm donor was in the military. And I've always looked up to people being in the military. I've always respected them. And so, it was very hard for me as a child growing up, looking up to people in the military, and then having my sperm donor do shit like that to us. So it was very hard. I was in ROTC in high school, and I was not even allowed to wear the pants that the ROTC uniform requires. I had to wear the skirts, which is fine, but I had to wear the skirts. I couldn't even wear the pants as my uniform when I marched in the Christmas parade in the snow. I was not allowed to wear those. He wouldn't. Oh no, I wouldn't say the Marines, but he would not let me wear the ROTC uniform, which is a military uniform. I was not allowed to wear that. So I would be marching down, in the Christmas parade in the snow in Erwin, Tennessee. That's where I was raised at. Freezing to death because he refused to let me wear the military issued ROTC pants. So yeah, that is part of my childhood. That's a portion of it. Okay, and then my sperm donor was in the Army and the National Guard. That's what. Yeah. He was in the Army and the National Guard. Well, if anybody knows anything about the military, and I respect the hell out of the military, just because he was a straight up douchebag doesn't mean that I don't respect the hell out of the military. I sure the hell do. And I'm just saying, in general. But he had National Guard weekends. And he would go, and I think it was a couple times a month. I can't really remember because I try to put that in the past because it is traumatic for me. But he had National Guard weekends, and so I think it's twice a month, I believe. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I believe it's twice a month. But anyway, so they would go do their drill or whatever it is. And then they would come back. Well, he lied to my mom and me that he was going out of town for the military, training, basic some kind of training. I don't know, something. He went Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I don't know mentors has ever heard about that, but anyway, it's Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where he told my mom that he was going. Well, he didn't have no weekends that weekend. And he came back home, and we were, even though he treated me like that and beat me, he was still my dad. So it's very hard, guys. But he never treated me like a dad was supposed to. But so he came home one day, and he had hickeys all the way up and down his neck, down his shoulders, everywhere, and stood there right in front of me and my mother. And at that time, I wasn't even, didn't even turn 18 years old yet. So I was still a minor. My brothers were all grown. They're each a couple years older. It's like stair steps. Like my oldest brother's like 43 or something like that, and he might be 45. I'm not really for sure, but they're older than me by a couple years. Anyway, so they was already out of the house and stuff. So it was just me and my mom, and he came in with all that on his neck and everything, and we went to go give him a hug, and I would never forget it. My mom said, "What is that?" And he said, "You know what that is." And then started treating my mom like shit and putting her down and stuff like that. And she said, "Well, you lied to me. You said that you was going to Fort Campbell for training, and you wind up coming back with 400 hickeys on your neck, it seemed like." And then he told her right smack dab in front of me that he wanted a divorce. Well, because my mom was going to tell him before he told her. He said that he said it right in front of me that he would not divorce my mom until I turned 18 years old because he would not provide for me. So you know how that made me feel at 17 years old. I felt like everything was my fault. Because a dad is supposed to take care of his children, and he told me he would not provide for me, so he would not divorce my mom until I turned 18 years old. So I've had that my whole life, thinking that everything was my fault as a child, when come to find out that he was the one that was evil. He was the one that did all these bad things, but then acted like a saint to others. You know, it's very hard. So it is very, very hard. And people saying, how do you still believe in God, knowing that the demon was at your house? And I said, well, I have to have faith of a mustard seed. It's very little, but you have to try to keep the faith. You have to try to keep positive, even though you are going through so much hell as a child, literally. And guys, that wasn't just the first time when I said that he about beat us half to death for going to sleep in church. It happened several times. Several times. So bad that I had permanent whelp scars on my hind end. So it didn't just happen once. It happened several times. So him, attacking my mom in front of me, attacking my brothers in front of me. That happened several times. Several times. And it's hard because, you're a child, you're innocent, you didn't ask to be brought into this world, but you're going to be beat because you fall asleep in church, or you're going to be beat because, somebody said something that you didn't like, so you're going to take it out on your wife and your children, and that we was punching bags growing up. We was punching bags growing up, and it was awful. It was awful. It was so bad that growing up as a kid, I would pick my arms so bad that they would bleed. So I had sores all over my arms because I was so upset. I didn't know what to do. So instead of cutting, some people cut, which I don't judge. I don't judge not one bit. But instead of cutting myself, I would pick my arms just because it felt good at the time, because I was going through so much hell. Oh no, honey, they had CPS called several times, but he would hide us or say we're not there or we're out of town or something to that effect. Even though we were sitting right there, he made us go in a room and be very quiet if they showed up. So that way, if they came inside, they wouldn't hear or see us. So they left and they closed it out. So that's why CPS is, I don't have no respect whatsoever for CPS. It is awful the way that they treat children. It's awful that they take children away from good people that actually take care of children and love children. But because we was in a room hidden, even my mom, they would come in the house. We'd have to be quiet as a mouse. We couldn't say nothing. We could barely even breathe. And hide in the closet, a bedroom. So if they went in that bedroom, they couldn't see us. So yes. Very hard. Very hard. You know, that was my childhood growing up, guys. And I know a lot of people suffer with traumatic childhood experiences. And I know every story is different. But that one is mine. My childhood. Now, adulthood is very hard too. So that's why I have childhood PTSD. That's the reason why I have childhood PTSD. I have completely washed my hands from my donor. I haven't talked to him since my grandmother passed away a couple years ago. God rest her soul. And he acted like there was nothing wrong. He acted that way towards my brothers. We was only there for our grandmother. That's it. He acted like nothing was wrong. And I haven't talked to him since the funeral. And that's been a couple years ago. So I'm completely washed my hands of him. I know it's sad to say, you wash your hands of your father. Well, you have to be a father in order to be called a father. That's just me, though. That's just me. So I'm completely washed my hands. And the person that I claim as my father passed away a couple years ago. He was actually my stepdad, but he was more a father than my father could ever be. And I will always call him my dad. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, so when I turned 18, I graduated from high school in 2005. And when I graduated in high school, I started a job at Walmart in Erwin, Tennessee, where I went to school at, where I was raised at. I was born in Greenville, South Carolina. I was raised in Erwin, Tennessee. So I'm a Southern girl, as you guys can't tell. Oh, Miss Joni, he don't even claim his grandchildren. He don't claim Tyler Trinity. He don't claim his others, which is my niece and nephew. Because when he marries for the money. And when the money's out the door, he's out the door. He goes to the next victim, and I do mean victim. So he's been married. Okay, I've been with Rebel for almost 16 years. He's been married 5 times in that 16 years. 5 times. And every time he marries,
he marries, he completely forgets about his immediate family. So I've completely washed my hands, and I think it's for the best. My children, Tyler and Trinity, mine and Rebel's twins, they don't even count them as their papa. You have to be a papa and you have to be a father to be in somebody's life, and he is neither one. He is neither one. You have to physically be in somebody's life to be called that. We grow into adults. The pain and trauma is always lingering and still causes us issues. Absolutely. It's so true. It is so true. But this is just the topping off the case. This is just the icing on the cake. So y'all heard about my childhood trauma. Very, very hard. Very hard. Growing up as a child. Very hard. And that's one reason I say to myself, I'm a people person and I love people. Like, I never meet a stranger, and I get that from my beautiful mom. But when it comes to actually being friends and talking to people and going places and hanging out and doing anything, I put my guard up. And there's a lot of times that I close myself out because I don't know what to say. I don't know how to act. So I'm kind of like in, kind of like a shocked mode. Like you know what you have to do, like your regular stuff you have to do, but you don't really talk to nobody. You stay to yourself because you're afraid if you do say something might come out and you're not meaning it to sound maybe bad or something like that, but you're venting and you're trying not to hurt somebody else's feelings, so you just stay to yourself, you know. So I deal with that a lot. But when I turned 18, like I was saying, when I turned 18, I started working at Walmart. I told my sperm donor at that time that I was gay. And he sends me a message and says, it doesn't surprise me you hang around gay people. So see what I mean? Just because I hang around gay people, because I accept them for who they are and not who they love, like it don't matter to me. It doesn't matter who you love. Love is love. This is just me, though. I don't want nobody being upset. This is just my opinion. I want people to have opinions, but the way that I look at it is love is love. I don't look at you because you're with because you're a gay gentleman with having a gay boyfriend or gay husband. That doesn't bother me. I look at the person and not what your sexual orientation is. That's just me, though. That's just me. I love everybody and I respect everybody for whatever they choose to be. Whether you're straight, gay, bi, trans, whatever. I respect everybody. And if that makes them happy, then, so be it. As long as you're happy and you're getting treated good, that's the way I look at it. That's on y'all. If you're happy and treated good, then that's all that matters in my book. That's how I think about it, So, but anyway, so I told him I was gay, and he said, it doesn't surprise me you hang around gay people. Well, what does that have to do with the prostitute in China? Just because I hang around with gay people doesn't mean that I'm gay, but that's what he assumes. So anyway, so at that time I had me a girlfriend because I went through so much hurt and trauma, so I was just like, well, maybe I could find a little bit more happiness in this. I always thought women were beautiful, but maybe I could find a little bit more happiness in this instead of, constantly feeling like that I'm going to get hurt, So anyway, and then this is the trigger warning, guys. I'm coming to it. So I'm just kind of preparing you guys. I'm letting y'all know ahead of time. So I was working at Walmart one night. And like I said, I just told my sperm donor that I liked women. So I went to Walmart one night.
I got off the clock. I walked outside, got in my car. I got in my car and went to shut the door, and I got dragged out of my car. I got dragged out of my car by not just one, but several people. Sorry, guys. I got dragged out of my car by several people. And they covered up my face. Trigger warning, guys. I apologize, but I want to share this. I'm sorry. They put a bag over my face and threw me in the back of a truck. And all I heard was by several people, by several voices. By several different male voices. And this still haunts me to this day, even though I was 18 and I'm almost 40 now. I'll be 39 in December. That's a long time. All I heard these different male voices saying, "We're gonna turn you straight. You shouldn't be what you are. You're trash. You're filth. You're a dyke. You're all kinds of different names. All kinds of bad names. All kinds of bad names." They threw me in the back of the truck. And mistreated me very badly. But I don't know which one was which, because I felt like that I had all kinds of hands on me. And then when they were done with me, they threw me on the side of the interstate to die. And if it wasn't for one of my friends, or I thought was one of my friends, pull over the side of the road and see me laying there, lifeless, and my clothes ripped off, and all bloody and everything, and bruised. If my so-called friend wouldn't have came pulled over and picked me up and took me to the hospital, I wouldn't be here today to share this story to help others. I wouldn't be here at all, guys. It was that bad. So my so-called friend, which I thought was my friend, but wound up being was not my friend, took me to the hospital. And they did a lot of tests on me, let's put it that way. A lot of tests on me. It made me feel so disgusting, guys. So disgusting. I'd sit in that hospital bed and I cried like a baby, like I've been beaten to death. Worse so than I did growing up as a child. They did all their tests and everything, and the test came back nothing. Nothing. Yes, the test showed that happened and they could see it. I had broken ribs and everything, guys. They left me on the side of the interstate to die. I was unrecognizable. And when my so-called friend, came and got me, they didn't know who I was until I got to the hospital to say my name. And it took me a while to remember my name. I was so messed up for what those evil people did. And I had a lot of those done, Lisa, honey. But all of them came back. Nothing. Nothing came back. But nothing came back on them tests. And my friend came and got me, or my so-called friend came and got me out of the hospital after they were done with the forensics, everything. And the questions. They didn't find nothing as any traces of DNA. And if they did find it, they said it was very little to nothing. And no, I don't have they checked me for everything. I don't have no diseases or nothing. But nothing showed up on the test, for DNA is what I meant. I'm sorry. And if it did, it was very, very little traces. It's crazy. It's crazy how much hell somebody could go through and still try to be a good person at the end of the day. Hello, Sub-Zero. Good to see you, honey. Yeah, this was back in 2005, 2006. So I don't know. It's different testing now than when it was back then. I mean, I know that I remember them taking blood work and them doing exams without being, dirty or nothing. They did exams and checked everything, and they swabbed it. They said they did not see any DNA, and if they did see DNA, it was little to no traces, like not enough to even pull up the DNA on the database, if that makes sense. But when my friend came and picked me up, or like I said, my so-called friend, once they figured out who I was, they said, Becca, you deserve it. They said that I deserve to be treated like that, guys. I deserved to have all that shit happen to me. Nobody deserves that shit. Nobody deserves that shit to happen to them. Just because they love a different way you do, or they talk a different way you do, or their opinions are different than yours, doesn't mean that somebody deserves anything. We're all human. We all have feelings. And we all bleed red. That's exactly how me and Rebel see it. We don't see color. We see you as a person, that we all bleed red. It doesn't matter if you're damn polka dotted. We all bleed red. So when I contacted the sheriff's department and they had to do the forensic and everything, and I told them, that they have any traces of anything to catch the person, because I was pressing the charges on all of them. And I know there was at least 3, if not more. At least 3. But I couldn't fight back. No, you're fine, Lisa. You just tell it like it is. You're fine. No, I realized that that was not a true friend. And I haven't talked to that so-called friend since then. Now, how could somebody deserve to be SA'd? How could somebody deserve that to happen to them? How could somebody deserve to have a fucked up childhood like I did? You don't deserve anything. But if you deal with that, you have to try to put it on the back burner, like I tell you guys all the time, just to be a difference in somebody's life. And let people know that you're wholeheartedly there for me, because I've had so much freaking hell in my life. That's why I try to keep it positive. That's why I wear a mask, per se, just to hide my hurt, so I could try to be a difference in somebody's life, so I could try to be a happy, positive person. So I contacted the office, the police department. And they said that they had traces of, just traces, like nothing, like just a little possibility of a little pinch of DNA from the swabs. But they said that they could, it wasn't a full DNA, so there was nothing that they could do. So I was left on the road to die. I was pulled from my vehicle at a job that I worked at. To get hurt and essayed because I was different than others. Nobody deserves that, guys. And that's one reason that I share my story, so I can help others. I try to cope with positivity. Yes, I like to bring awareness to certain things, but that's one reason that we do trivia, or we just do open panels, or we do karaoke, because it helps. It helps put your hell on the back burner just for a little bit, to get your mind off the hurt. Plus, to show, just because I've been through these hells, and other people have been through their own, own personal hells. Everybody goes through, their own different story. Just because I suffer with PTSD and somebody else suffers with PTSD doesn't mean that we suffer with the same exact thing. You know what I mean? Just like if somebody suffer with depression or anxiety or whatever the case may be, and I suffer with it, doesn't mean that we got the same exact feelings. We do, but we don't, if that makes any sense. So that's why you just try to be there for people and let people know that they're not alone. Just because you might not understand fully what they're going through doesn't mean that you can't be there for them and lift them up and let them know that it's okay not to be okay. So that's one reason I do these type of lives, to bring awareness to it, to let people know that it is okay to go through them hills. Because your life matters. You matter. You are loved. And you are supported here. No questions asked. And I will always keep it like that. And now you'll understand a little bit better why. Why I don't do drama. Why I don't do he said, she said crap. I try to keep as positive as possible, because I've dealt with so much hell my whole entire life. It's hard not to live a positive life. You try to do the best you can with the life you've been dealt, but when you have a life like I did growing up, and I'm just talking about me, when you have so much hell growing up, you try to turn it around for the good. Even though you've been through so much in your life, you try to turn it around for the good. You try to be a good person. You try to make friends. You try to be a difference in somebody's life. You try to show support and be positive. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Summer, good to see you. Hope you're well. And Ken, good to see you. Hope you're well. And like I've told you guys a million times, this is what you see is what you get. Honest to God. And I know YouTube, a lot of people change it up to be that like specific person, but I'm not. What you see is what you get. I am the same exact way on YouTube as in person, the same exact way. Me and Rebel are true as they come. And honest to God, we're not changing. Like I said, this is YouTube. There's a lot of people that change. But we don't do that. We're the same. We're the same on this YouTube streets as we are in person, and we promise you that. We would take the shirt off our back if y'all needed it more than we did. And that's the God's honest truth. And that also beats on YouTube too. If y'all need anything, we're here for you. Like wholeheartedly, we are here for you no matter what. But the police told me that there was nothing that they could do. So basically it made me feel like that it was my fault. That all that happened to me because they can't find who did it. So I always live in fear and paranoia and stuff like that, even though I try not to. It's hard not to, guys. Especially, and I know this sounds crazy, but especially in Walmart parking lots. It's extremely scary. I can't stand Walmart for the longest time. I was scared to death to even go near a Walmart. I had the police pull the cameras, and they said there was nothing they could see. They could see that they was around my car. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and every one of them had hoods over their faces, so they couldn't get the identity of any of them. All music has helped me a whole lot. There's so many songs out there that has helped me so much. So many songs out there. And that's what I know. I can't sing worth a crap. I know that. But if it puts a smile on somebody else's faces and makes me forget about my health just for a little while, why not do it? Life's too short, guys. And I know from experience, life is too short. Life is too short. You might as well make the best of it. So we do a lot of music because music is good for the soul, and I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that. So I do a lot of that. I love karaoke. I love to sing. I know I can't sing worth a crap, but I try my hardest. I've never had no lessons or nothing. But just to make somebody feel good for just a little while and put a smile on their face, that's all that matters to me. And have fun while you're doing it. I'm so sorry, Ken, that you went through that. But then when I talk about this story, this is what pisses me off so bad, guys. I've been assessed where I was trying to get disability. I'm still trying to get. I'm going to refile. I'm not going to quit. There's no point. I've been fighting for too long. So I seen one of their doctors there, a disability doctor, and they assessed my mental and they assessed my physical. And they said my mental, I was just I was imaginary and things. How can you imaginary when you look in the mirror sometimes and you can see the scars all over your body? How can you imagine that? That's not something to even say that she's imagining things. That's not something to say. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Have a good night, my friend. Love you. Good night. And God bless you. But said that I was imagining things. But the thing about it is, Absolutely. There's my rebel. I love you too. Rebel's the one that saved me, guys. I'm telling you. When it wasn't for him and my kids, I wouldn't be here. That's the God's honest truth. That's the God's honest truth. When I say Rebel saved me, he really did. And so did my children. Because honest to God, I wouldn't be here. And that's the truth. I went, because you've been through so much else. Sometimes it's just easier. Well, okay, well, let me just do what I got to do to be no longer here. But I don't do that. There's doctors all the time. They're like, "Well, do you ever think of that?" And I said, "Well, I would be not like you would be not human not to think about that, especially when you go through so much hell in your life, But that doesn't mean that I'm acting on it. I would be lying if I said it and it didn't cross my mind, but that doesn't mean that I've acted on it. Because I have a wonderful husband and I have amazing children and I have a little grandson, baby James, that we care for. I have another grandson and I have grandbabies on the way. So that's one reason I haven't been to the hospital. Or I would have already been to the hospital. Thank you so much, Robbie. And that's the truth, guys, truly. And Rebel said, "Babe, do you remember what they look like?" And I said, "No, not really. I mean, they had hoods and masks over their face. But I know the voice. And it's crazy that almost 21 years ago, I can still hear their voice. So that's one reason why I'm always got my guard up to go places, like go out and about, because you don't know where those evil, mean people would be at. And they got away with it. And I got hurt. Well, trust me, I know the voices if I hear them. Yes, I did. Ken, it was amazing. I think you shared it up here one day. See, Rebel knows the whole story. And as soon as I told Rebel, he said, "Where are they at?" He said, "I'm going to go find them right now." But I'm telling you, it's like I have so much. You're fine, honey. You're fine, Ken, honey. I have so much mental because those people and my donor fucking with me the way they did. So I'm a living example. That it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to go through those hills. because it's not your fault. And I've had to tell myself that many, many times. It's not your fault, even though you feel like that it is. It's not. So you have to stand strong for yourself. And you have to tell your story to as many people as you possibly can. To let people know that they're not alone. And they're supported and they're loved. No matter what. There's too much hate and evil in this world. Too much hate and evil. Just to be a difference in somebody's life. I'm telling you. Means so much to somebody. And trust me, I know. I know. I know how it means to feel. I know how it means to hurt. But I also know how it means to heal and to help others. And that makes my heart just so big. I wear it on my sleeves anyway, guys. But that makes my heart so big to be able to help somebody else. Whether it's my story or just being a positive difference in somebody's life or just listening to them. That helps me heal as a person. Oh, mentors, I know exactly what you're going through. And the thing about it is, we all go through our own hells. But when it gets quiet, the demons come out to play, and it's not good. It's not good. I completely understand what you mean, Deanna, Ohio, because like I said, I talked to that disability doctor, and they said that I was imagining what I went through. Like, how could you imagine somebody hurting you? You know? How could you do that? Oh, we'll get that when we get to our tattoo couple channel. Lisa. Saber Thunder, can you share our tattoo couple channel, please, honey? If you could get it for me. People are so quick to judge what they don't understand. Just because I live a positive life and I try to be as happy as I possibly can, doesn't mean that I'm not going through my own hells. That's part of masking, guys. I'm me, but I have my own hell, so I kind of cover it up just to try to be a difference in somebody's life. Well, the disability is the one that sends you to the doctor. So you don't pick the doctor. They pick the doctor for you. And they go by what the doctor says, not what you say. That's exactly right, mentors. I agree, definitely. This world is so messed up, guys. So messed up. That's why if you could just be a difference in somebody's life. And let people know that you're there for them wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. And I've said that since day one. I put all my shit on the back burner and I go through a lot of hell just to be there for somebody else. And I will always do that. And I don't want to be a burden to somebody. So I don't really talk about it. But sometimes you just got to get it out to be able to try to help somebody else. If that makes sense. You know. If I could help anybody with my story, that makes me feel good. I could be a difference in just one person's life and let them know that I'm wholeheartedly there for them and I love them and I support them. That's all that matters to me. Just being a difference in somebody's life. So I cope with singing. I cope with music. I cope with, I write. I like to write my feelings down on a piece of paper, notebook, whatever. Because sometimes you just don't have the words to say to somebody else. So if you could write it down, at least you got it off your chest. But then sometimes it is good to have somebody to talk to that's there for you, that'll listen and won't judge, you know? And I've been judged my whole entire life. I mean, literally my whole entire life. So if I could just be helpful to somebody else, that means everything to me. Also, like 8 years ago, I started doing tattoos. That helped me a lot. As you guys see, my husband is covered in tattoos because of me. The ink therapy, just for getting tattoos, is amazing. But when you're actually doing the ink and it winds up being beautiful ink, it warms your heart because you're like, man, I couldn't believe in a million years that one, I would be able to tattoo. And two, I would be able to do amazing ink on people. Like I would never in a million years, I would never thought that. I can't draw worth the shit, guys. And Rebel knows I can't draw worth a damn, but I could tattoo like nobody's business. And that's the truth. So when I tattoo, it's like your mind goes away for a little bit because I play music. It's like your mind goes away for a little bit and you just focus on what you're doing. Kind of like when you start writing down your feelings, you focus on what you're doing because you're writing down it. So you're trying to get your mind off of something else, you know? So that's how I do to cope. I sing, I be positive. I try to live my best life, even though I have my own hells, as you guys heard earlier. I do ink therapy on people. Sometimes I get it on myself, but most of the time I do it on people, which I really, really enjoy, very, very much so. So, just to live life to the fullest, even though you've been through so much hell in your life. And be a difference in somebody's life is huge, I think. That's just me, though. Yes, Victor's Huddy. I bet, Lord. Have y'all seen Rebel? Lord, my husband is covered in tattoos. He's got like over 300 tattoos. Yes, I do ink. I sure do. I sure do. And Rebel does piercings.
But yeah, I've been tattooing for about 8 years, something to that effect. Yes, but I'm not licensed, so they consider it practicing. So I practice, and I don't charge a lot because I can't, I'm not licensed, so I charge enough to cover the supplies. That's it, and make me a couple bucks. And that's the truth. Because I try to get an apprenticeship, which I thought would be amazing. And the apprenticeships around here are about $5,000 to $10,000. And once you do get all your hours in, then you have to move somewhere else to practice your license. You cannot practice it in the same place that you got your apprenticeship, which I think is bullcrap. So yes, guys, that is my story. And that way y'all get to know me a little bit more. And y'all can kind of better understand what I'm going through on my end. Like I was saying, everybody goes through. Just because one person has PTSD and I have PTSD doesn't mean we have the same story. So take time to listen. Take time to sit down and be there for one another and let people know that they're not alone, that you're there to listen and you're there to be there for them, to give them a hug, to give them a shoulder to cry on, just a phone call away. That's the most important part that you could do to be a difference in somebody's life. Just show up, and even if you don't say nothing, sit there and listen. Because somebody might just need a listening ear. Somebody might need your advice. You don't know until you take time to sit down and listen to what they would like to say to you. People come to me, and I'm not upholding myself, but people come to me because they know that I won't say nothing, and I won't. And a lot of times people come to me and vent to me, and then I tell them my advice. Sometimes people just come to me just to want to talk, which that's fine. My door's always open. When I say I'm there for you guys, I wholeheartedly 110% am. That is the God's honest truth. And some of you guys know from experience that I'm telling the truth. And I won't say no names because I'm not like that. But I'm just saying, when I'm there for you guys, I'm there for you guys. When I say I'm a friend, I'm a true friend till the end. When I say I love you, I mean it. That shows support. That shows that you support and you care about that person. And that person trusts you to come to you to talk about things. And not being judgmental. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. I mean, Rebel knows there's been many times I've been doing this channel for almost 3 years. And Rebel knows every time that I get off my channel, it just warms my heart. You guys don't realize. Y'all don't realize how much you guys mean to me too. Y'all have made a difference in my life as well. I don't call y'all subscribers. I don't call y'all members. Y'all are friends and families no matter what. And Rebel says the same thing because we mean it and we're true. Why did the bald guy get tattoos of rabbits on his head? Because from a distance they look like hairs. Oh my goodness.
Well, I would want you to come up here if you feel comfortable, mentors. I don't have no email or nothing like that to get in contact with you. I did message you on Discord, but I don't know if you got it or not. But you're more than welcome to come up here. I would love, and you know, it's up to y'all, but I would love to hear stories. I think the more that you talk about something, the better it makes you feel. And it also makes you feel good because you're bringing awareness to it that people most of the time throw under the rug. You're being supportive of whatever you're talking about. And you're letting people know that it's okay not to be okay. It's perfectly fine. It's not your fault. You didn't ask that stuff to be done to you. So you just have to live your best life. I am living proof, like I said. Bad things happen to good people, and that's God's honest truth. It is so true. So I hope, I didn't upset you guys too much. But I just wanted to share my story with you guys so y'all could, better understand and get to know me a little better. And thank you, my rebel. Thank you. Thank you, babe. It's extremely hard, and Rebel knows. Sometimes I'll come up to him, and he knows this for a fact. I'll come up to him and just give him a hug. Sometimes you need that hug. Don't say nothing. Just get a hug. Sometimes you need a shoulder to cry on. You don't know. You don't know what a person needs. So if you could just be kind to one another, truly. And let people know that you're there for them and you care about them and you love them. No matter what. We all have flaws. We're all imperfectly perfect. But that doesn't mean that we can't be a difference in somebody's life, be a positive change in somebody's life, and share a story out with others so we can help others and bring awareness to it. I think it's extremely important. So, like I said, I hope you guys understand me a little bit better now. People are so quick to judge what they don't see. Just because I'm bubbly, as people call me, have a huge heart, and try to live a positive life doesn't mean that I'm not going through my own hells deep down inside. You don't know. You truly do not know what somebody's going through. Just because they look normal on the outside doesn't mean that they're not hurting on the inside. Don't be so quick to judge, guys. Don't be so quick to judge, because it's awful being judged. Trust me, I know. And thank you, Lisa. I love you too. So just remember that, guys. Just remember, being a difference in somebody's life means the world to somebody. Just because you don't know. I don't know, I don't know a lot of you guys from Adam. But y'all are my friends and family, and I met you guys through here. So that, to me, means everything to me.
Just because it's YouTube doesn't mean that you can't develop a relationship, a friendship, a family. That doesn't mean anything. You stay true and you stick to your grounds. If you do that, the right people will come along. And me and Rebel have some amazing, amazing people in ours, in our channels. And like I said, y'all are not members. You're not subscribers. That's out the window when it comes to me and Rebel. Y'all are family and friends, and we wholeheartedly mean that with all our heart. Truly. That's exactly right, Mama's the bomb. Sometimes a simple smile can change another person's day. Always be kind and never judge. Absolutely. Absolutely, honey. That is so true. You know, and if you have the time, take time to get to know people. Sit down and listen to their stories. You know, because in return, they might actually help you in return. You know? I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're alone in this world. And I've always stuck by that since day one of this channel. I don't want anybody to feel like they're alone, because I promise you, even though I'm a little channel, I promise you, you're not alone over here. I promise you, you're supported. I completely understand, Mama's the bomb. Completely understand, honey. You know, but that's what it's all about. Well, mentors, honey, you can let it fly here, because you're completely fine. You're completely fine. We want you, I want you to be yourself. I just shared my story, poured my whole heart out to you guys, just so y'all could better know me and know what I'm going through if y'all haven't never heard it before. See, even Rebel put my phone number in there. If y'all ever need somebody to talk to, I've got the phone number, I've got email, I've got Messenger. I've got Discord. There's ways to get in contact with me. All you have to do is reach out. Thank you so much. Spread love, not hate. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And welcome. Good to see you. I hope you're well. I really, really appreciate it, you guys, being in here. It really means a lot. It really does. Truly. Truly. And if anybody wants to come up here and share their stories sometime, you're more than welcome. There won't be no judgment or nothing, because we're not like that here. We're a positive, supportive channel that has fun. We do karaoke. We do trivia sometimes. And we do mental health. I started this channel on mental health almost 3 years ago. And I'm going to keep on talking about mental health. I have several videos. I mean, several. I've got Lord have mercy. There's a bunch of videos on mental health on my channel. So if anybody needs a little info on any of it, please go to it. That's what they're there for. I leave them to the public so anybody can watch them. That's what they're there for. So yes, happy fall day, guys. First day of fall. I hope y'all enjoy it. But I love you guys, and I figured you know, and I knew some people already heard my story, but I just wanted to talk about it some more and bring awareness to PTSD and mental health. Thank you so much, Spread Love Not Hate. And I love that name. I love that name. And that's what we live by here, Annie. We don't hate on nobody. We don't judge nobody. This is not a drama channel. This is a positive, supportive channel where we have fun. We listen to one another. We're kind of like a big family. And we welcome you too. We welcome you too. We welcome everybody. So, and I won't deal with nobody being mean or nothing like that, because I'm just not that type of person. So if I see anything like that, it's going to be taken care of real quick, like really quick. And people that know me know that I don't deal with none of that crap. So please, I want everybody to feel welcome here and loved and supported here, because this is a positive channel. Yeah, that's fine. Mentors, just message me on Discord. I sent you a message. I don't know if you got it or not, but I did send you a message. She has a mean, though. Hey, everyone, I handle her heavy work. Yeah, Rebel is my ride or die. That's it. That's it. He's my everything. And he knows everything. Okay, mentors, I'll check it. But yeah, he knows everything, and he knows how I am. Have the biggest heart ever, and just want to be a difference in somebody's life and to help others. I think that's what my calling is. Just to be a difference and helping others, and letting people know that they're supported and loved and cared for, no matter what. Just because you don't know somebody personally or in person doesn't mean that you don't love and care about them. So, with that being said, I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I hope y'all can better understand why I do these type of lives. Because, you know, I'm somebody that suffers day in and day out with mental health. And people don't believe me. I'm not saying you guys don't, but I'm just saying people are so quick to judge when you really don't know. And that's why I always say, you don't know what somebody's going through. Be kind to one another. And honestly, does it cost nothing to be kind to somebody? Sit there, take time to listen. Be a difference in somebody's life. Don't be no better than nobody. Because nobody's better than nobody. We're all humans. We all have feelings. So just treat everybody the way you want to be treated, with kindness and love. And remember, take time to listen, because you really don't know what somebody's going through. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I really appreciate y'all coming in here. A kind action or word goes a long, long way. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so true. It is so true. So true, guys. But I love you guys, and I welcome all new people, even the people that are watching. Please hit the like, share it out, subscribe if you haven't done so. I really appreciate y'all being in here. I really do. December 29th is mine. I'm also a Capricorn Mentors. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget, we got karaoke this weekend, and this Thursday will be this Thursday. Please subscribe up to this one. This is mine and my husband's YouTube channel together. We had it running a couple years ago, and we're getting it back up and running again. So if y'all haven't subbed up, please do so. It doesn't cost nothing to sub up, and you'll just get to know me and Rebel a little bit more, my husband. There's a link. Summer Thunder put it in there. So if y'all haven't subbed up, please do so. We would really appreciate it. Like I said, it's been a long time coming. We started the channel a couple years ago, and it was just kind of put on the back burner. And now we're going to get it up and running again. So please, it's all right, Deanna in Ohio, honey. I really understand. It's okay, darling. I love you guys, and I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And it's great to see old faces that we haven't seen in a while and new faces. We welcome everybody with open arms, and we love you all. So we hope y'all have a wonderful night. And like I said, I'm sorry if I triggered anybody. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to explain my story to help others. So I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget, like I said, to sub up to mine and Rebel's channel. We will be going live on that one Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday on White Trash Family 2229, which is my husband's music channel. We play music and dance and just have a good time. And then we come over here for some karaoke every weekend. So the more the merrier. Come on over here. Invite your friends to come over here and hang out with us. It's just a good place to be. And I'm not saying that because it's my channel and that's how I made it, but it really is a good place to be. Even if this wasn't my channel, I would come over here and hang out because it's just really a good place to be at. So I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. If you are watching a replay, please hit the like, share it out, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you thought about the show. And I really appreciate y'all coming in here and supporting me during this time and all times. I really do. I couldn't do what I do without all you precious people. And I really mean that from my heart. I love you guys. And I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And may God bless y'all. I'll see you guys later. Love y'all.